Dear Nikola, again, from deepest parts of my heart and Nune's heart and our family, again our condolences for this great loss. Your father, the great poet, once said very philosophically that the life is simple. There is a birth, there is a death, and in between you have life. It makes it simple. You are born, you will die, but then you have the life. But let me add something else. That in the case of a great poet, great musician, great artist like Aznavur, there is something beyond that. There is something, a second life after death. And his second life of Şarl Aznavur started a couple of days ago when we were in Paris, graciously hosted by the President of the Republic of France and Madame for the absolutely beautiful ceremony of remembrance of your father, Nikola. I mean, that was a ceremony of high dignity, nobility, and humanity. That was exactly your father. Thank you, Mr. President, again. On behalf of me, my wife, my family, the whole of Armenian nation, for what gracefully you and Madame and the people of France have shown their love and appreciation to Şarl Aznavur. Indeed, his second life has started, and that life will start today, but that life will be towards infinity. He said there is birth, there is death, and in between life. His second life will be forever. And it's another day of his life forever today here, when we are indeed in a historic moment, looking at the future center, future home of Şarl Aznavur, future home of Nikola Azნավուր, and future home of France in Yerevan. I'm sure that this home will become a wonderful center of spreading all over Armenia, and not only Armenia, the word, the language, the culture, and the love and the greatness of France. And that's in your hands, Nikola, and in your hands. In some ways, I'm a practical man, President, and I have a simple proposal. Indeed, Aznavur was a man of the world. He was known and loved, and I found his presence in places that you'd never think of. Last year I was in Uzbekistan. I told Nikola about the story. And in Old Market, there was a carpet dealer, Uzbeki guy, and there were several photos, 4 or 5 of them, and one of them was Şarl's photo. I thought it was an accident. I said, who is this? He said, you don't know. He didn't know that I was Armenian or something, you don't know. And he started singing the La Bohème in Uzbekistan, in Bukhara. So it's not only Japan, it's not only Buenos Aires, it's unknown places starting from Siberia or Central Asia. So indeed, Aznavur was the man of the world, the cultured man, the poet of the world. So I think, and that also appeared in May this year. I had a great singer, Elton John, as my guest in Yerevan. He's a good friend of mine. And in fact, Elton and Şarl met in 2011 at one of my charities in London at the Buckingham Palace. And they were speaking about doing something together. It never realized, except that beautiful songs recorded together. So when Elton was here, and I showed him, it was late evening, I showed the house of Şarl, and he said something, oh, pity I'm not Armenian. And then we had this discussion about having something together, and he said, if Şarl will agree, I will come and do a charity concert with him here in Armenia. I called Şarl and said, that would be great, let's plan that. Şarl was planning his life for the next year and the year after and the year after. That was the beauty of it, because he was young until the last moment of his life. Maybe he was aged, maybe he was more than 90, but he was a young man a man that was learning every day, a man that was looking at the life, because his songs were not songs, they were ballads. Each of them was either a comedy or a tragedy in full. So when I called him, he said yes. If Elton says yes, we'll do a charity. So I have a practical proposal. Why don't we put together all of our efforts and next year do a big concert, charity concert, in memory of Şarl Aznavur. First in Paris, of course, because that's his home. Deal?
Deal done.
Deal done.
Je recrute déjà ceux qui sont là avec nous.
Well, I'll put all of my effort to make that a success. And I am sure that we will have singers, great singers, poets all over the world coming to that event. And I'm sure that we can raise a lot of money to support the project and Aznavur Foundation. There will be only one condition. We have the second concert in Armenia. Deal?
Deal.
Because I envisage that this home of France, this home of Aznavur, will not be his home only in Armenia, because he is loved in Georgia, he is loved in Ukraine, he is very much loved in Russia, in Central Asia, everywhere. So this home will be the ambassador of France from Yerevan to the whole region of Eurasia. So I'm looking forward working with you, Nikola, and your team. And as you know, if I give a word, I will keep it. And we will try hard to make this a great success, because it's our duty. It's the duty of Armenia, and it's the duty, I think, of France as well. There is only one sad thing in this story. And that sad thing comes one of the most beloved songs of mine, which is called Yevankal. And the last verse there says, there are so many songs in me that I will never sing. That's Şarl Aznavur. There were so many songs in him that unfortunately he will not sing. But I think we can all together sing for Şarl Aznavur. Thank you very much.